Have you ever wondered if something as simple as showering could secretly affect how long you live? What if missing just one small spot during your daily routine was quietly putting your health at risk, without you even realizing it? And what if this overlooked habit was even more dangerous as we grow older, when our bodies become more vulnerable to infections and disease? It may sound surprising, even a little extreme, but research is increasingly showing the serious health risks tied to overlooked hygiene, especially in certain areas of the body. The truth is, many of these spots are missed during a typical shower, and this becomes even more common with age. In today's video, we're going to reveal 5 body parts that seniors often forget to clean properly. These are areas that quietly collect bacteria, sweat, and fungal growth, creating the perfect environment for health problems to develop if left unattended. From circulation issues to skin infections that creep in without obvious warning, these spots matter far more than most people think. Stay with me until the very end, because one of these areas is not only commonly neglected, but it is directly connected to your immune system. The surprising part? Washing it thoroughly takes less than 10 seconds, and that single small habit could do more to protect your health than you ever realized. Let's get started. Number 1. The feet. One of the most commonly overlooked areas, and one that can quietly harm your health if it isn't cleaned regularly, is your feet. You might assume that a quick rinse in the shower is enough, but for older adults, especially those already coping with reduced circulation, diabetes, or a weakened immune system, skipping a proper foot cleanse is like giving bacteria an open invitation to settle in. Fungal infections thrive in warm, moist environments, particularly between the toes or under the toenails, where water alone rarely reaches effectively. What begins as a small patch of athlete's foot can quickly spiral into something far more serious, such as cellulitis, or even a stubborn skin ulcer that refuses to heal. The danger is heightened because many older adults experience reduced nerve sensitivity. This means you may not feel the early signs of irritation or infection until the problem has already progressed and caused real damage. At that point, treatment becomes longer, more complicated, and sometimes even life-threatening. But it isn't just fungus you need to worry about. Dead skin buildup, cracked heels, and lingering sweat can all weaken the skin's natural barrier, increasing the risk that harmful bacteria will find their way into the bloodstream. Doesn't it make sense to protect yourself before it gets that far? The hopeful news is that prevention takes only seconds. Just 5 to 10 seconds of intentional cleaning for each foot, working carefully between the toes, under the nails, and around the heel, can dramatically lower these risks. And it's not only about washing. Drying your feet thoroughly afterward and applying a small amount of moisturizer can help keep the skin soft, strong, and resilient. Think of this daily habit not as vanity or appearance, but as essential vascular care, supporting both circulation and overall health. Your feet are not only the foundation that carries you each day, but they are also one of the body's first places to reveal signs of declining health. Yet because they are so far down, so easy to cover up, they often become one of the easiest places to overlook. The next time you step into the shower, don't just let the water run down and assume your feet are clean. Take those extra seconds. Your body will thank you. Reach down, take care of your feet, and don't overlook them. Now let's move to number 2, the scalp. Many people assume that if they no longer have much hair, or if they've switched to a low-maintenance haircut, there's no reason to worry about scalp care anymore. But the truth is simple. Your scalp is still skin. And like every other part of your body, it requires consistent attention. When the scalp is neglected, it quietly becomes a trap for oil, sweat, dead skin cells, and environmental pollutants. At first, you might not notice anything unusual, but over time, this buildup doesn't stay limited to the surface. It can trigger ongoing inflammation that weakens your skin's natural defenses, burdens your immune system, and leads to long-term irritation. For older adults, this goes far beyond cosmetics. It's a matter of overall health. Chronic dryness or flaking can open the door to low-grade infections that slowly compromise the skin's integrity. In more serious cases, bacteria from the scalp can even slip into small sores or weakened hair follicles, creating risks that are difficult to reverse. Most people don't realize that the scalp contains some of the body's highest concentrations of sebaceous glands. That means oil builds up here faster than almost anywhere else. When this oil is left unwashed, it oxidizes, hardens, and becomes a perfect breeding ground for pathogens invisible to the eye. For those in their 60s, size, and beyond, this can create more than just discomfort. It can turn into an unnecessary risk of infection that remains hidden until it has already advanced. And while many older adults choose to wash their hair less often, believing it will protect fragile strands, skipping regular scalp cleansing altogether can ultimately do more harm than good. This is especially important for those with fine hair, a bald scalp, or thinning at the crown. Even a gentle scalp massage for just a few minutes during a wash can make a remarkable difference. It stimulates blood flow to the head and neck, encourages lymphatic drainage, and even supports mental clarity while reducing stress. So it's not only about keeping your scalp clean, it's also about giving your entire system a natural boost. That's why, even if your hair is short, thin, or gone altogether, your scalp still deserves care. Wash it with intention. Take a few extra seconds to massage it lightly, and notice how much better you feel. Your head will thank you, and your body will quietly benefit in more ways than you realize. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, I'd love for you to comment the number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now is the perfect time. Be sure to hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. Your support allows us to keep creating meaningful content that informs and inspires. Now let's move on to number 3, the navel area. The belly button might be one of the smallest parts of your body, but it is also one of the most neglected and, surprisingly, one of the dirtiest. As we age, flexibility decreases, and small areas like the navel often get overlooked during a shower. You might think, it's just a tiny spot. What harm could it do? But the truth is, the navel is a recessed space where sweat, dead skin cells, soap residue, and even lint from clothing can collect. When it's not cleaned regularly, it becomes the perfect hiding place for harmful bacteria and even yeast, creating health problems that often go unnoticed until they become more serious. In some cases, what begins as mild irritation in the navel can progress into an infection known as omphalitis. While this condition is often seen in infants, it is becoming increasingly recognized in elderly patients, particularly those with diabetes or weakened immune systems. The navel creates an ideal environment for bacteria. It is dark, warm, and moist. In such conditions, microbes can quietly multiply, eventually leading to redness, a foul odor, or even discharge. What makes this issue more concerning is how subtle the early signs can be, and many older adults don't notice any real discomfort until the infection is already well developed. By that stage, treatment becomes more difficult, and healing can take much longer than it would have decades earlier. In more severe situations, hardened buildup, commonly called navel stones, can form. These small, dark, foul-smelling masses often require medical intervention to remove. The good news is that preventing these problems comes down to a simple habit. During your daily wash, take a fingertip wrapped in a soft washcloth or use a gentle cotton swab. Clean inside the navel carefully with warm water and mild soap, and then be sure to dry the area thoroughly. A dry navel is just as important as a clean one, because lingering moisture can quickly become a breeding ground for harmful microbes. If you've had abdominal surgery or if you have skin folds in the area, that's an even stronger reason to give this small spot the attention it deserves. Keeping the navel clean is not just about hygiene. It's about preventive health, especially as the immune system changes with age. So treat this small, hidden part of your body with care, because sometimes it's the areas we don't see that end up mattering the most. Number 4 is the underbreast area. For many older women, and even for some men, The skin beneath the breast can become one of the most easily irritated and overlooked regions of the body. Yet, it is also one of the most important areas to keep clean, especially as we age. This natural fold of skin, often warm and moist, provides the perfect conditions for bacteria and fungi to thrive if it isn't washed and dried properly every day. The skin in this region is thin, delicate, and constantly covered by clothing and undergarments that trap sweat and limit airflow. Over time, this combination creates an ideal breeding ground for intertrigo, a red, inflamed rash triggered by friction, constant moisture, and infection. At first, it may appear as mild itching or slight redness, but if ignored, it can progress into painful sores, open wounds, or stubborn fungal infections that may require long-term medical treatment. Women who have undergone breast surgery, experienced significant weight changes, or simply the natural sagging that comes with age are often more prone to these problems. And because the underbreast area is not always easy to see in the mirror, issues can go unnoticed until they have already become severe. One of the most common mistakes older adults make is assuming that a quick rinse in the shower is enough to keep this area healthy. In reality, the underbreast region needs intentional care. The skin should be lifted gently and washed thoroughly with mild soap, then rinsed well and, most importantly, dried completely. Using a clean towel or a soft washcloth dedicated just for this area can make a big difference. For those prone to extra moisture, a small amount of unscented body powder or plain cornstarch can help keep the skin dry without causing irritation. Caring for this often overlooked area is not only about avoiding discomfort. It's about preserving the skin's integrity, preventing infections that could take weeks to heal, and maintaining a sense of physical ease and confidence. Neglect here can slowly chip away at daily comfort, especially in warmer weather or during physical activity. Doesn't it make sense to give just a few extra seconds of attention to protect both health and quality of life? But just a few mindful seconds each morning can change all of that. Even if no one else ever sees it, remember that this part of your body deserves the same respect and care as every other area. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, I'd love for you to comment the number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now is the perfect time. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. Your support helps us keep creating content that informs, inspires, and empowers. Now, let's move to number 5. The groin area. This is one of the most sensitive, easily irritated parts of the body, and yet it is also one of the most frequently neglected. For many older adults, the groin becomes a trouble spot not because of major hygiene failures, but because of small oversights that accumulate over time. These little things can quietly turn into chronic problems that affect comfort and overall health. As we age, the body naturally develops looser skin, more folds, and noticeable changes in muscle tone. These changes create more hidden spaces where moisture can collect, providing the perfect environment for bacteria and fungus to grow. Over time, this can increase the risk of irritation, unpleasant odors, or even skin breakdown that is painful and slow to heal. Both men and women are equally vulnerable to these issues, but many people feel too embarrassed to talk about them. Others may not be sure what's normal and what isn't. The skin in this region is delicate, constantly exposed to friction, and easily aggravated by factors such as tight clothing, incontinence, or long hours of sitting. Isn't it worth asking yourself whether this area is getting the attention it deserves? When this area isn't washed and dried properly, conditions such as jock itch, yeast infections, or folliculitis can develop without much warning. It may begin with just a small patch of redness or a little itching, but before long, it can turn into pain, irritation, or skin damage that doesn't go away easily. One of the hidden dangers of the groin is how quickly infections can spread. Because of its close proximity to lymph nodes and other vital structures, even a seemingly minor skin issue can escalate into something more serious if it's ignored. And once the skin barrier is broken, healing becomes slower and far more complicated for older bodies. That's why washing this area every single day is non-negotiable. But here's the important part. How you wash matters just as much as the washing itself. Always use warm water and a gentle, unscented soap, applying it with your bare hands or a soft cloth. Avoid rough scrubbing or drying with harsh towels, as these can irritate delicate skin. Take your time, clean carefully between folds, rinse thoroughly, and make sure to pat the skin completely dry. If moisture is a recurring problem, a light layer of talc-free powder or a protective barrier cream can go a long way in reducing irritation and preventing fungal growth. For those living with incontinence, this daily habit becomes even more critical. Cleaning should be done after every accident, no matter how small. Don't wait until a rash, odor, or discomfort appears. By then, your skin is already sending signals that it's overwhelmed. Doesn't it make sense to act before it reaches that point? Maintaining a clean and healthy groin area is not just about hygiene, it's about preserving comfort, protecting mobility, and even supporting confidence. When cared for properly, this area allows you to walk, stretch, bend, and sleep without unnecessary irritation or pain, helping you enjoy daily life with ease and dignity. And when you care for this area every single day, you're doing far more than just staying clean. You are protecting one of the most vulnerable parts of your body from breakdown, painful infections, and long-term harm that can quietly steal away comfort and independence. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, I'd love for you to comment the number 6 below so I know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss any of our future videos. Your support allows us to continue creating meaningful content designed to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move to some final thoughts. When it comes to aging well, it's often the smallest, simplest habits that make the biggest difference. Daily hygiene may not seem like a matter of life and death, but as we've explored today, the way you care for your body, especially those hidden, often overlooked areas, can have a powerful impact on your health, your comfort, and even your longevity. Which of these 5 areas surprised you the most? Was there one you hadn't really considered before now? The truth is, wisdom in our later years isn't only about the big lessons learned through experience. It's also about noticing the quiet things, the subtle routines, the gentle signals our bodies give us every day, and choosing to respond with care. By treating your body with attention, consistency, and respect, you're not only protecting it, you're honoring the life it still carries forward. If you've stayed with us until now, I hope this video has done more than just provide a checklist. My real wish is that it has given you a deeper appreciation for your body and a renewed sense of commitment to care for it with intention. After all, you're not simply washing away dirt. You're preserving the vessel that carries you through this extraordinary and still unfolding journey of life. Isn't it worth treating that vessel with the respect and kindness it truly deserves? Thank you so much for joining us today. We would love to hear from you, so leave a comment below and share one thing you learned and how you plan to apply it in your daily life. Your thoughts and reflections are incredibly important, and reading them gives us both encouragement and inspiration to continue creating meaningful content for you. If you found this video helpful and insightful, please remember to like, subscribe, and share it with others. Your support means the world to us and helps us keep bringing you valuable information designed to inform, inspire, and empower. Wishing you good health, lasting happiness, and peace in every day of your life. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you won't miss any of our upcoming videos.